Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here on Talk Daily, where we're gonna have we're gonna start doing like a new segment. I'm gonna start doing a new segment where I just talk about my opinion, because my opinion based on some of the reading I've been doing, and some based on my experience. Okay, so that way we put that out of the way, that it's my opinion. So feel free to change your channel. Anyways, first of all, how is everybody doing? I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world. And as always, thanks for stopping by. So what am I going to be talking about? I found this great article. It's written in May, so it's not that old, okay? And it's from carwow.co.uk. I have a link to this article in the description below. And kind of the reason I'm talking about it because it gives me data, and I want to show you some of that data. And John Talodi is the writer. Again, I have a link to this article below. So what I'm trying to get to is the electric car. So this is a great example of a generic car, and it shows where the batteries are at, and it's kind of highlighted in that little area on the bottom. And if you ever play with an RC car, you're quite familiar where the batteries are. If you have an electric shaver, if you have an electric anything that require a battery, I don't know. Use your imagination. So you're aware that batteries don't last. Okay, and this is a subject been going on and on and on, and people saying, "Oh no, it's doomsday scenario. Your car is going to be useless," and some people saying, "No, it'll be fine." And the reason I'm talking about it because let's be real. I'm one of the people who I buy used cars. Is it because I can afford a new car? Not really. I mean, the new cars I want are kind of expensive, and for a daily driver, again, this is an example of me in Southern California. I buy a used car because I just less investment in the car, and I know that a gasoline engine, if I buy the car that has 80,000 mile on it, to me it's like it's nothing. I mean, cars are designed to run 100,000 mile. I buy a car with like 80,000 mile on it, to me that's fine, dude. That's fine. As long as the car hasn't been abused meaning the RPM, the engine been revving to red line, the car, basically the car hasn't been abused and salt, water, whatnot, whatever. It's just normal driving condition. You're aware that car is going to last you for forever. You just have to replace some parts, water pump. Again, I'm kind of specific, so about my engines, but I know a car that has a good engine design, and I know that engine is going to last. So anyways, long story short, I can drive the car to 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles, no problem. Just replace some parts, and it would still be cheaper than buying a brand new car. Do I do most of the work myself? Yes. I don't take my car to mechanic to do much. I mean, I could, but I do the work myself if I have the time. Again, we're not talking about changing pistons. We're not talking about taking apart an alternate, taking apart a transmission. And we're talking, I've changed the clutch, but anyways, but I'm not saying like taking the transmission itself apart and changing gearing on it. Okay, there's a line where I call it catastrophic failure. Okay, and that is like your engine just seizes. I mean, that's your beloved car, and you go ahead, you work on it, but it requires the car to be down for a couple of weeks. I'm talking about just normal maintenance. Oil, a couple of hoses, battery, alternator. You can't even need to change shocks, to be honest with you. I mean, I had a Camry for 2005 Camry, and bro, it didn't matter. The shocks were short. It doesn't make a difference. A solid axle in the back. It's not a really solid axle. It's kind of like a wagon suspension in the back that vehicle has. If you're not aware of it, basically nothing in it really wears out. Just keep driving. So taking that philosophy into mind, and reminding you that is an old philosophy, meaning the new cars that are being manufactured are not applicable to this mentality, this philosophy of having older cars and just kind of surviving with them. And if you're wondering why do you have an older car and you just keep using it, it's because we need cars. At least, again, where I live in the neck of the woods, cars are very essential. You almost can't do anything without a vehicle. So you need a car. So having put that all out of the way, I know modern electric cars are designed with the mentality that buy it new and get rid of it. And that mentality, honestly, to me, is kind of that's a very easy thing to say, right? I mean, it's like me telling you, purchase your comfort. That's the answer to everything. Anything you have, any question you have, that's pretty much it. What comes down to objects. I don't like this. Buy your comfort. What, you don't like this car? Go ahead, buy $1 million car. Well, I mean, come on, man. Let's be realistic. Not everybody can buy everything. So at some point, not everybody has infinite amount of money, right? And not everybody's a millionaire. So for the people who are not very rich, what's the solution? Well, I found this article, and again, let's go back to this article. Why am I talking about this article? Because we are aware of the cars. Everybody's going crazy, going electric, right? Go electric, electric. We don't have any more dinosaur juice, and it's bad for the environment and whatnot. And this conversation about the environment is a whole different story. I'm just trying to just relate it just to this vehicle. So what is the lifespan of this car? What is the lifespan of the battery? Because now we okay, you like to buy used cars. So now, okay, someone bought this car for $60,000, $50,000 brand new. I don't want to spend $50,000 on a car. I just don't want to. I don't mind spending, I don't know, 15, 20. Of course, there's some electric cars going down to that level, hopefully at some point. But let's say you want to get the bigger one, right? You want to get the bigger car with a bigger battery and more space, more range. That philosophy is not applicable as much as it used to. The newer cars, they kind of give you the range. So what am I saying? So let's get to the point of this. So let's get to the range. There you go. I really do like this graph because it kind of explains to your range. It gives you the car, the maker, Audi. They did a warranty on your battery. It says 8 years, 100,000 miles, which is very good. And then they give you, I wish I did this kind of a little bit better, but anyway, they kind of give you the battery repair replacement level. 70 to 80% range, age dependent. And usually everything's 70%. Some of them are 65, except for the Leaf. The Leaf is kind of specific about the 60,000 mile for the 24 kilowatt per hour Leaf, and 100,000 mile for the 30 and the 40 kilowatt per hour Leaf. Again, everything's 8 years. That seems to be industry standard. 8. Kia is 7. MG 7. Mercedes 8, 100,000 mile. And again, everything back to 70%. And I have a link to this so you can read it, take your time. It's a great article to read, okay? So everything usually 8 years, Volkswagen 8 years, Volvo 100,000 mile. The percentage of the battery, when they're going to replace it, is not specified. But usually everything is 70. 65 from August 1st. This one... Which one is a 65? I don't remember the one that was a 65. I think it's Kia. Yeah, 65. That's the Kia. So anyways, I don't know. I wish they made this graph a little bit wider, but it is what it is. So anyways, why am I talking about it? Because, okay, you're going to buy the car that has an 80,000 mile on it. And it's past 8 years. The car, to drive 100,000 mile in 8 years is a feat, man. I mean, it's a lot, okay? And this one, the smart car, the mileage is kind of ridiculous. You're not going to drive that much mileage in 8 years. So, again, whatever comes first. I'm not sure. It's each one, whatever comes first. And this is regarding the state of health, SOH. That's a percentage of state of health falls below 70%. So it said the majority of manufacturers offer an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on their battery packs and will either restore or replace them if the state of health falls below 70%. During this period, each major EV manufacturer battery warrant, it's listed in the table below. And again, it's really interesting to read, but what happened when you buy a car that's 10 years old? The depreciation on these cars is going to be astronomical because the moment you're reaching 8, you're out of warranty. And at that point, that degeneration of the battery, if we go from 70 to 60 to 40, again, there's a lot of factors why a battery would for the battery to go bad. We're talking about basically the cycles, we're talking about the temperature, we're talking about just age. I mean, a lot of people know when you leave the car sitting outside, we don't start it for a year, come back to the battery's dead, and kind of the same. Lithium ion is different than, the lead acid battery, but the chemistry is somewhat similar. So what I'm trying to get to is what's going to happen to these cars? So what happened to the people who can't really afford a brand new car and they say, I'm going to get a car that's 8 years old, 9 years old? Well, I don't know. I mean, I might be lucky because these cars are going to so depreciate in value. You get yourself like a nice, beautiful Audi for pennies. Because, well, not pennies, but, way less than you would be able to get it if that Audi was powered by a conventional gasoline engine. Because all of a sudden this Audi, it cannot serve its purpose as intended, which is a transportation machine. It's good, but for limited range. And the second question I ask is, well, the first question was, what's going to happen to this car? The second question is, the new mechanic, what is that going to be? You're going to replace batteries? Of course, it still breaks in here and things need replaced, but in majority, it's going to be now refurbishing batteries. But how are you going to refurbish a battery? You have to get it from the dealership. I mean, are they gonna remove every single individual battery cell and unsolder it and resolder it? So the solution here is I don't know yet. That's why I'm asking you, the viewer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. These are the questions being asked, and I don't know what the answer is. I have no idea. Because the article is on saying how to extend your car battery lifespan. That's not the point. The point is these cars will get old. Time moves on, whether we like it or not. It's just time is gonna move on. The car is gonna be old. Whatever you do to it is gonna get old, and that once that time expires, what we gonna do with all these cars on the road? Because again, maybe it's just me, but where I live, I look around, I see a lot of old cars. And I'm not talking about like cars from the 70s. I see cars that are like at least 20 years old. I see a lot. A lot of people drive a 2011 car, 2005 car, and even older. I mean, I have a Miata Milan 94. I have a Evo. I have an Evo 8. I mean, I have an older cars. I have an '07 Accord. I have older cars. And now don't give me any grief. I fill up gas, I drive. No, nothing. My Camry, what did I do to my Camry? Nothing. It drives, bless that car. It drives like, I mean, it's not nothing amazing, nothing exciting, but works. So my question, what's going to happen to these cars? I'm curious because these are not like cheap cars. I understand they are making cheaper electric cars, but that's not my question. My question, what's going to happen when these cars get old? What are we going to do with all these cars? 8 years, not that long. So that car has to go to recycling already? Because we're talking about, the range is dropping. And when is that range dropping to that point where the owner goes, I don't want it? The article's on saying some Tesla, 300-mile range, and after like 10 years, Tesla says what, 100 and fairly long range, 150,000 miles. The range went from 300 to 200 and it's 200 something, 230 or something, which is, again, it's still a respectable range, but I don't know what's gonna happen to these cars, because again the article goes on saying as far as like how to store it and maintain it, and again, if you live in a very cold climate, it depletes your battery even more. Okay, extreme cold, extreme heat. So I don't know. I'm sitting here just putting questions out there. Okay, I'm just putting questions out there. I don't have the answer. To me, I'm gonna hold on to my gasoline cars because they work. They just work because I don't have that much. I mean, I don't want to invest that much. I already have them. They're not costing me much. But a brand new car, I would imagine like investing. And again, I said that in the beginning. If you could just purchase your comfort, good for you. Then none of this applies. Right? If you're rich and you're a millionaire, good for you. Who cares? Just buy the new Audi. Buy new. And I understand that is the cycle. That's what all manufacturers want you to do. I mean, it totally makes sense. It's the whole concept of it is, purchase, consume. That's why you call it a consumer. Your job is to consume. So, but to me, I just find it's gonna be eventually like, well, we're just gonna have a bunch of cars being exported to some country that have less regulation as far as health and safety, as far as like removing batteries and dealing with the toxic waste. I don't know. I made an article before. I made a video about an article that discussed, I think it was like recycling facilities intend to open here in the States as far as, recycling these batteries. Because, again, there's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of smart people looking at this, trying to find solution. But I think, unfortunately, making money comes first. Solutions comes after. Initially it's making money, but I also find this to be this question that I'm raising. There's money to be made. I mean, if I would imagine these cars with that mileage and they're useless, recycling that car might give you, a lot of money. I mean, the value of the vehicle as is. I mean, again, I'm using that Audi for example, but let's just say that Audi it's already over 8 years and the battery is below 70. I don't know. Let's just say 60. Was in Alaska or something. Okay. Nobody wants to buy it. The range on that car now is below 200. Okay. So what are you gonna do with that car? And I said nobody wants to buy it because some people say, the value depreciated a lot. So maybe you could recycle that car, and probably that car recycled is worth more than just selling that car in its current state. So again, I don't really know. I don't have the answer, but I'm just raising that question because looking at it, 7, 8 years is not a long time. If you're young and you're watching this video and thinking to yourself, 8 years infinity, well, 8 years really isn't infinity. It isn't. 8 years is just 8 years. Time flies. So I'm just curious to see what's going to happen to the used car market value of all these electric cars. And I'm telling you right now, from my knowledge, from my experience, again, this is a brand new field. From my experience as far as used cars, I believe that a gasoline-powered used car is going to hold its value against the electric car, used versus used, 100%. Unless this battery been replaced. And because remember, these vehicles are designed where the engineers, I guarantee you, they didn't design these cars for the battery to fail multiple times in the 7 years or 8 years life. You know, maybe it fails once, but I don't imagine it will fail that many times. Then the engineer didn't do their job. Only the Nissan Leaf seems to be the issue here, and even Nissan offers to refurbish the battery to 75% if it falls below that figure. So they refurbishes it up to 75%, not even 100%. I don't know why. Nissan seems to, because Nissan was, I don't want to say the pioneer, but the first one to kind of come up with that Leaf. And I mean, Tesla was around, but you know, when Nissan made the Leaf, they first made the 24 kilowatt Leaf. That's the one that had little issues. And the 30 and 40 kilowatt Leaf is better, but Leaf seems to have some issues as far as that. But regardless, all these batteries, all of them will degenerate because of time and usage. So, anyway, I'm just putting this video out there just as far as questions. I don't really have answers, you know. And remember, electricity is not cheap. And the last thing about electric cars is it depends where you're getting your power, what time of the day you're getting your power, and as far as charging station, that's a whole different subject. I'm just discussing what the value of the vehicle will be once the warranty expires. What is the value of that car? Is it the same as a gasoline car? That's my question I ask you. My speculation is no, because a gasoline car, even though it is 15 years old, 16 years old, I can put gas in it and go on with my life. Where an electric car, I could charge it, but I'm not going to get the same range. And the charging time is not going to be less either. So they didn't mention anything about the charging time. I don't know if the charging time will be the same. I would imagine if your battery is not getting fully charged, we'll kind of just, you know, I mean, you subconsciously just going to constantly stare at that. You know, I'm waiting for it to go to full, but it's not. Again, these are just questions. I'm not saying electric cars are bad, okay? I just think electric cars are on their way to becoming better and better and better and better. And the technology is trying to get there. But again, the article, this is a great read. It's telling about the lithium, nickel, cobalt, aluminum oxide, you know, batteries and lithium iron phosphate, different kind of materials being used to make the electric car battery. And it asks a lot of questions, and it talks about the bad for the environment. And I can make it. How long I've been talking for? I've been talking for a minute. 18 minutes? God dang, Ed. And it goes on saying electric cars, batteries are bad for the environment. I'll just give you the answer. Yeah, of course they are bad. And it's all about recycling. You recycle these things properly, okay, but it takes energy to recycle. And the whole question is energy. What are you getting the energy to do everything? The energy is the whole thing. Everything is not bad if you could recycle it. The energy, the time, and the material, I don't know, because again, I don't know, it depends on where you live in the neck of the woods, but you've seen people work on their cars in their garages and the street, whatnot, and not everybody has access to all this clean facility. They do everything nice. So what's going to happen when you have an electric car being handled by, I don't know, some individual who has no idea what they're doing? I don't know, maybe they just take the battery and say, you know what, I'm tired of this car. You've seen those pictures of cars being abandoned somewhere. So what happened to abandon an electric car? So what? People are not going to abandon them? Everybody's going to follow the rules? I don't think so. And that's my question. Remember, cars are going to be a thing for everybody. And not everybody is going to have the same level of standard in which they're supposed to take care of that car. So, this question. I honestly, I think electric cars are a little bit ahead of their time. And we're catching up to them. But again, if you have the money to buy these cars, like they talk about Tesla Model S has a range, has a large 100 kilowatt battery pack, which can deliver an estimated range of 405 miles on a single charge. That's fantastic. You could afford it. Go ahead and get it. The Honda E has a 35.5 kilowatt battery, which provide around 137 miles between charges. So you have range of you have a range of cars with range electric cars. Okay, not all electric cars are supposed to give you a very large range, but regardless. And in general, driving slowly in city without using too many energy sapping features like air conditioning, heated seat will yield the best result. No, what? You spend that much money on a Tesla Model S for you to drive around sweating? No one's going to do that. So again, it's just that's what I'm trying to get to. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. You think again, the question was, is it what's going to happen after 8 years? Are these cars going to hold their value like a used car and their counterpart? I don't know, a Seat with 8 years, 100,000 mile warranty expired, would be the same value as a gasoline powered Seat? And what are we going to do with these cars once the I don't know. I mean, I don't know what is the acceptable range. I don't know. When are you going to get to that point where like this car, I don't want it. When it has 120 mile range. What is that threshold when you're like, nah, dude, I don't want it anymore? I don't know. I personally, I would compare it to what it's new, and after it drops a certain percentage, I'm like, I don't want it, but maybe someone will just hold that Audi. I mean, you only can drive it maybe for 40 miles, but hey, I have an Audi. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I know a lot of smart people are working to find solution to this. And this is just the beginning of electric cars. I'm quite aware of. There's a lot of technology getting in, and every year things are getting better. But this is an optimal condition, right? All these cars being tested here in Southern California. Some will get tested in New York because the laws in here are very easy. You can drive. They have a lot of easy laws for cars to. For manufacturers to test out their cars here. They have the the whole autopilot thingy, and we have kind of slacky rules, so they can come here and test their cars and come here in California. And so I'm aware I'm aware that technology is moving forward. Okay, I'm not being a negative Nancy. I'm just simply saying I don't know what negative Nancy. I don't know where I came from. But anyways, let me know what you think about this again, and it'll be interesting to read the comments. Anyway, as always, take care and drive safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.